Man, listen, Shedeur is, we talked about it, Earl. He's talented. Like, he has all the talent and ability you want. He has the leadership qualities you need.
He still broke records that your Pro Bowler and Super Bowl contestants haven't even touched in the NFL level.
Shedeur was my 20th player. He's a first-round caliber player. Like, talent-wise, both those guys, I think, have a huge advantage over Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett has to be light years better.
He's an actual proven talent. He's proven that every single team you put him on, he becomes better.
My expectations have absolutely changed. Absolutely. My expectations have changed because a lot of what we're hearing from Cleveland has changed. Again,
the information that was out on Shedeur Sanders came from a lot of people that a lot of people trust and people think that are credible.
And it's that branding, bro, being a walking business brand. He's a 5th-round pick, and he generated damn near well over $300 million already in merchandise sale.
People are trying to assign from a personality standpoint to Shedeur Sanders, and I think that's incredibly unfair to the young man.
99% of the online scrutiny is because of my dad. And he is exactly right. That's why it was really a mistake.
Shedeur Sanders just silenced the doubters in the most brutal way possible by turning a standard rookie signing into a contract so loaded with power moves and performance triggers that it has the entire NFL talking. This isn't the safe, slow-track deal teams hand to mid-round quarterbacks. This is a weapon disguised as a contract, one designed for a player the Browns clearly believe can blow up the depth chart and take over sooner than anyone dared say out loud. The fans see it. The city feels it. Inside Cleveland's front office, they know exactly what they've put in writing. This isn't just money on paper, it's a challenge to the league and to every critic who thought Sanders would be riding the bench for years. Buried in the fine print are escalators most rookies never sniff, payouts for early playing time, bonuses for passing milestones, and rewards for wins led by Sanders himself. It's the kind of structure that screams, we know he's not supposed to be the guy yet. But we also know he might force us to make him the guy. And that's exactly what's happening. From his first week of training camp, Sanders has been dismantling defensive looks like a veteran. He's diagnosing coverages before the snap, shredding blitz packages mid-play, and dropping pinpoint throws into windows that shouldn't even exist for a rookie quarterback. NFL veterans have been left shaking their heads, not in disbelief, but in respect. Eyewitnesses from the practice stands have described it as watching a rookie play chess while the defense is still setting up the board. One longtime season ticket holder leaned over to a reporter and said, "I don't know who structured that contract, but they better be ready to pay every dime." The turning point came on day 7 of camp. The Browns' first-team defense, stacked with Pro Bowlers like Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, and Grant Delpit, lined up across from Sanders. It was supposed to be a quick lesson in NFL speed for the rookie. Instead, it became the session everyone in Cleveland is still talking about. Sanders read Garrett's edge pressure before the snap, made a quick adjustment, and fired a laser into tight coverage for a first down. He followed it with a series of perfectly timed routes and deep strikes that had defensive veterans glancing at each other like, did he just do that? By the end of the drive, the sideline was buzzing. That's when the whispers started. Not in the locker room, but in the owner's box. Sources inside the organization claimed Jimmy Haslam began requesting more Sanders practice film that night, watching his decision-making and accuracy on loop. By the next morning, word had spread. The owner was paying attention. The fans, always quick to sense a shift, pounced on the news. Social media exploded with clips of Sanders torching the Browns' elite defense. Merchandise sales spiked overnight. One Cleveland sports store reported selling more Sanders jerseys in a single day than they had for any rookie in the past decade. City officials, attending unrelated events, were being asked about the rookie as if he was already the starting quarterback. One council member told local radio, "You can't keep a guy like that on the bench. The fans won't stand for it." Inside the locker room, the reactions were mixed. And that's putting it lightly. Some veterans openly embraced the rookie, staying after practice to run extra routes with him. Others worried his rise could fracture the quarterback room and disrupt the team's preseason plan. But everyone agreed on one thing: Sanders wasn't playing like a developmental prospect. The Browns' coaching staff publicly insisted nothing had changed. Privately, they were reviewing every snap frame by frame, looking for any sign this was a fluke. They didn't find one. Instead, they saw a quarterback who handled pressure without flinching, read the field faster than most veterans, and delivered throws that made even the toughest defenders admit they'd been beaten. By the second week of camp, the proof was in the reps. Sanders was no longer confined to second-team snaps. He was working with starting receivers against the first-team defense, and the results spoke for themselves. Drive after drive, he was in control. Every completion made those contract incentives look less like a gamble and more like an inevitability. Now, the Browns are staring at a situation no team likes, but every franchise fears. The rookie who wasn't supposed to be ready is clearly ready, and the veteran they've invested in is looking over his shoulder. That massive contract deal wasn't supposed to change the quarterback conversation this fast, but Sanders isn't waiting for permission. He's taking it. And the NFL critics who wrote him off, they're suddenly very, very quiet. The contract that once looked like a long-term insurance policy is now a countdown clock. Every time Sanders steps onto the field, he inches closer to triggering those incentives. And the Browns front office knows it. What was once a safety net is now a very expensive reality waiting to hit the books. That reality came crashing in during a full-contact scrimmage that was as close to a real NFL game as training camp gets. This wasn't the rookie going up against backups. This was Sanders facing the Browns' starting defense, a unit built to break quarterbacks, not build them. Myles Garrett brought the heat from the first snap, coming off the edge with a burst that has made seasoned veterans crumble. Sanders didn't flinch. He sidestepped, rolled out, and threaded a 20-yard strike into traffic for a first down. The sideline erupted. And he didn't stop there. Sanders delivered precision timing routes, deep shots that hit receivers in stride, and quick-release darts that made the pass rush irrelevant. By the end of the scrimmage, he had stacked multiple scoring drives and, more importantly, stacked credibility with every veteran on that field. Eyewitnesses in the stands could feel the shift. One fan holding a brand-new Sanders jersey told a local reporter, "You can't unsee that. This kid just made our defense look like it was in slow motion." By the next morning, the ripple effect had hit every level of the organization. Coaches who had been reluctant to disrupt the depth chart were exchanging quiet, uneasy looks. The front office was running scenarios. What it would mean for the cap, the locker room, and public perception if Sanders took over sooner than planned. The fan base, meanwhile, had already made up its mind. Local sports talk lines were flooded with callers demanding the rookie start week 1. Social media hashtags pushing for Sanders as QB1 were trending citywide, and the merchandise numbers told the same story. The fans weren't just supporting him, they were investing in him. Inside the locker room, any lingering skepticism was fading. Veterans who had been cautious around him were now dapping him up after plays, praising his ball placement and poise. One defensive starter, speaking off the record, admitted, "We threw everything at him and he didn't blink. That's not normal for a rookie. That's dangerous and for everybody else in the league." The problem for the Browns? They already have a franchise quarterback on paper, and he's on one of the most expensive contracts in the NFL. Pulling the trigger on Sanders too soon could implode team chemistry, alienate the veteran starter, and draw criticism from every corner of the league. Waiting too long, though, could mean wasting the hottest hand in Cleveland football right now. Owner Jimmy Haslam's interest in Sanders has only fueled speculation. Multiple insiders have claimed that Haslam has been privately lobbying the coaching staff to at least consider accelerating Sanders' role. Whether that's a push for competition or a direct order is unclear, but it's enough to keep the team in a constant state of tension. The fans, of course, aren't waiting for the decision to be made. Outside the stadium during open practices, chants for Sanders have started breaking out before the team even takes the field. One group of fans even brought a banner reading, "The future is now," holding it high every time Sanders completed a throw. City officials have taken notice too. In a lighthearted moment at a community event, one council member joked into the microphone, "We might have to declare a city holiday when Sanders gets his first start." The crowd roared. The NFL media machine is circling, dissecting every frame of practice footage, every sideline conversation, every rumor leaking from inside the Browns building. And the narrative is clear. Cleveland has a decision to make, and it could define their season or their decade. If Sanders starts and delivers wins, the Browns will be praised for seeing the future early. If they hold him back and the team stumbles, they'll be roasted for clinging to a failing plan. Either way, once this kind of momentum builds, it doesn't stop. The contract, the performance, the fan reaction, it's all pushing toward the same inevitable collision. The rookie who wasn't supposed to be ready is ready now. And every day he's not on the field, the noise grows louder. One fan summed it up best after the latest scrimmage. The Browns don't have a quarterback problem anymore. They have a quarterback decision, and they better make it fast.